6. We have a full slate of NBA today. Quick recap of yesterday, Taco Tuesday. One of the tacos did not hit, unfortunately. The other one we paired it with did hit. So we pretty much broke even. So hopefully we'll bounce back today. And I am starting the day one ladder day challenge. My two picks for that is Franz Wagner and Ivica Zubac. I took those late last night yesterday to avoid any of those bumps. I still like both of them. You can still take them over. So I took Franz Wagner over PRA and Ivica Zubac over PRA. Those are the ones I'll be running for day one. For my 5 picks, let's get started. And I got a couple for fantasy score. First one I'm going to be going with is Cam Thomas. And I'll be taking his fantasy score. Majority of the public are taking his points at 20.5. But I'm going to be taking his fantasy score at 27.5. He's been averaging well over 30. Should be a high, fast-paced game against the Hawks. So I think Cam Thomas is going to go off and cash his fantasy score. Next up for fantasy score is Franz Wagner. For the latter day, I took his PRA. I like it at 29.5. I was able to get at 28.5. But for this slip, I'm taking his fantasy score, which is a great alternative at 33.5. So I'll be taking the over. He's been cashing for the past 7 games straight. So hopefully he continues the trend against Cleveland. Next up for fantasy is a key role player for the Thunder, and I'm going to be taking Jalen Williams. I think everybody's focused on Shai Alexander. His fantasy score is at 50. It's a little bit too high for me. Obviously, he has a ceiling of 60. But I see him hitting just at 48 to 50, so I'm going to stay away from his fantasy and go with Jalen Williams at 28.5. He's been cashing 6 of the past 8 matchups. He averages about 32, 33 fantasy points, and against Houston, should favor the Thunder. So that's why I'll be taking Jalen Williams to get those fantasy points. Next up, I'll be going with is Joel Embiid. And for him, I'll be taking his assist. I like the push equity as well. I think he's going to go well over 6. But worst case scenario, we do have that push if he lands at 6. His fantasy score is not up. But I like his assist better. That's my first option. His points is a little bit too high for me. Obviously, he has a ceiling of 40. But at this morning, he was at 30. So it did get bumped significantly against the Wizards. I'm staying away from that just for the fact it is against the Wizards, so it might be a blowout. So I'll be taking his assists, as he's been averaging 8 assists a game in the past 8 games. So I'll be taking his assists over. And my next one will be Mike Conley from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for him, there's a couple options you can pick from. His rebounds is great, his assists as well, his fantasy score. But for this one, we'll be taking his rebounds and assists. He can get this on assists alone. I believe last game he had about 9 or 10 assists. For his rebounds, he averages about 3 rebounds a game. So I'm going to be taking rebounds and assists. I see this getting bumped to 10. So I'll be taking the over on that. And those are the 5 I'll be going with. Cam Thomas, Franz Wagner, Jalen Williams over fantasy, Joel Embiid over assists, and Mike Conley over rebounds and assists. So mix and match, pick your favorite. Pretty confident in this slip right here. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.